Welcome, Veritas family. Thank you so much for joining with us here at Give and Take. I'm Sherry Davis in the Office of Community Engagement, and I am here today joined by Annalisa Haney. Hi, Annalisa.
Hey Sherry, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks so much for joining us. We are here highlighting a couple of courses. They're going to be starting in Module B, so we're going to dive right in. If you're watching live or in replay, be sure to tell us where you're watching. We'd love to hear from you. Annalisa, tell us what course you're highlighting here today and tell us why students should take your course, who can benefit. Give us all the good details.
Yeah, my course for term B this summer is HI 202, History of Western Civilization Part 2. And since it's a part 2, we have part 1 going on right now, and we're going to end just about with the Enlightenment. And so it's the Enlightenment and French Revolution that we start with in our second half. And so the Enlightenment into the modern era and all the drama that unfolds across Western civilization there. So this is a 3 credit course. It's a 200 level, so it is open to our dual enrollment. In fact, I think I have one of my high school students that is going to be taking this for dual enrollment this summer. So shout out to him. But yeah, this is a course that gets a lot of traffic because
Yeah.
of its being required for most of our bachelor's programs. And so just kind of what students take with them and what they can
Yeah,
get.
and just park here for a second because I'm curious. My guess is you get this a little bit. Your class is highly trafficked because it's required by most programs, right? So you get a lot of kids in there, a lot of students are passing through your class. However, my guess is there's some who wouldn't take your class if it were not required. What do you say to a student who's like, I don't want to do history, especially
Oh.
this history? Okay, so show us your heart for this course. What do you tell a student who's reticent to jump in?
There's no dullness in history,
Good.
especially in Western civilization. So on a really fundamental level, I would say, as believers, do we have a really accurate concept of things that ought to be remembered? And
Mm.
what is the purpose, for that? And there's so much in Western civilization that the Lord has given us as an inheritance.
Mm.
Think about the just the societal and political judicial structures that we see around us, constitutions, courts, the rule of law. These are the gifts that God has given us through Western civilization's influence. And that goes way back to civilization that doesn't look that Western all the way up to here. And so, yeah, we totally get to see how God has done. We haven't invented any truths or anything like that, but Western
Mhm.
civilization has been used greatly by the Lord
Mm.
to give us these really elements for his prescription for human flourishing. That's how I think
Mm.
about the gifts of Western civilization, the individual freedoms and the value on individual life. These are strong elements in Western civilization. So we enjoy the fruits of Western civilization, not just because we are part of that and we are children of that, but because it has brought with it just that endeavoring to implement, and not always in the godly way, but these are scriptural principles that guide these truths that we enjoy in Western civilization and from Western.
You know what I love about our faculty and the passion they have for their classes, that even Western civilization is redeemed by, the love for history and for those. So those of you who are sitting and they're watching this and they're thinking, Western Civ's not my thing. I think Annalisa did a perfect job of recapping why we should be called to remember certain things, and you can tell she has a passion for it. So I'm so thankful you took a second to share that with us. That was great. Um, what kind of course load can a student expect in your course?
We use one textbook right now, and the chapters we usually, for an 8-week course, you're looking at reading two chapters a week. And then we have lectures and then a discussion board. You're going to find that everywhere, right? A discussion board where we try to capture some of our thoughts and building out some things related to the bigger ideas in our course and always tying that back to how God is working in history, bringing things together for his purpose. And then we'll have a quiz, we'll have an exam at the end. My two projects are, I hope, helpful and for two different kinds of students. So we've got students that like to be creative, right? And then students that, that doesn't come as naturally, and that's probably me. But do a timeline, and this is a creative outlet for students who want to put, and I get some beautiful timelines. But the purpose of this timeline is really to get that, of course, that big, that high, perspective, that
Mhm.
overall perspective that can get lost in,
Mm.
wars and people and dates and things like that.
Sure.
It really helps to see how all of this is interacting, and a timeline has always been helpful to me, and so it's there to help the students as well. And then the other project is an annotated bibliography. So the students won't actually be writing a research paper, but they go in and evaluate good sources. This has been an opportunity also for me to introduce some students who might still be relying on history.com, or probably not Wikipedia, but some of the question and answer forums online, but try to steer them toward sites where they can come up with really good sources
Mhm.
that will then be sort of a repository for them to visit for future classes as well. They can revisit JSTOR and things like that. So we talk about some ways of finding good source, and the annotated bibliography helps us kind of focus on that and develop that, give them a
I
tool.
like that you've given the students an opportunity to either be more traditional as an assignment or creative, because you mentioned some of them would be more acclimated or more interested in something like that. It makes more sense in their brain. And I like the way that you've given them that option because as we know, those students who can connect let's say throughout the course, they've developed their love of history, or maybe they've entered the class with a love of history, but what's the output of that? How can I submit an assignment that actually speaks to me? And I like the way that you've given them the option to do that because I don't think I would be the creative one, but I love the fact that it exists there.
Yeah, and they're both really important for us to try to cultivate. So I'm
Mhm.
not creative, but it's very good for me to exercise that muscle once
Good
in a while.
point.
Try something
Yes,
that's outside my own uh, set of gifts and proclivities.
right. Yeah, good. Hey, tell us a couple of reasons, one or two reasons why you love the course, and then tell us why you got into teaching it. Maybe an inspiration of an instructor or something that happened in your life that created the love of history in you. So a couple of things. Tell us why you love teaching this class, and then why you got into teaching history.
Yeah, and this class I love because of the high drama. Even though I'm not a dramatic person myself, I love reading about historical drama. Not really made up drama.
Right.
I used to be a real fiction lover, but now just give me history because there is
What more do you need, right? Plenty. Yes.
plenty going on. And so when you see the individuals and they're just over the top personalities
Yeah.
and really strong personalities that are huge actors in on this timeline. I just think it's fascinating. And so I love that every time I go back, this is genuinely this and one other course with one aspect in it. These are the courses that I look forward to going back and building out more because I learn so much more, and it's just fun to me to learn more about these people and these events. So that's one reason
Before you get to your next point, tell me who your favorite Western Civ character is. Who is the actor in that stage that you love the most? Can you narrow it down?
I don't know. Some characters just that I never get tired of. Robespierre would be one.
Okay.
I never get tired of the players in the French Revolution. I
Okay.
never get tired of Clemens von Metternich in the Congress of Vienna. So those are a couple.
Okay, fun. Yeah. So tell us what's your inspiration to get into loving history?
I began to love history and knew that I wanted to major in history starting with 11th grade US history when
Okay.
I did some research around um, the colonial period. I researched Samuel Adams and I got really into the uh, War for Independence. And
Okay.
so that absorbed me. And I didn't get over that until I got my master's degree and I had done my research in that area. And so that really pulled me into wanting to study history.
Was it your 11th grade history teacher in particular, or was it just the class?
Well, I loved my 11th grade history teacher, but it was seeing that drama in the colonial period of
Got
America
it. Yep.
that that drew me in. I thought this is great stuff right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so that pulled me in. And then but it was also so I also traced my love for this course back to a course I had in college as well, Europe in the 19th century. And it was, just equally fascinating. So just loved it.
Very good. That's exciting. I appreciate your jumping on with us today. If you are on the fence, if you are watching this and you're thinking, boy, I don't know if I want to squeeze in Western Civ the last part of my summer, do it. You won't regret it. You'll get oh, I love she's even got fireworks going. See, you should do it. Jump in. We will celebrate you. You will do fantastic. Annalisa will walk you through. You're gonna love it. If you are interested in just jumping into any classes, message us, call us. We would love to walk you through the process to get you into the next steps to fulfilling God's calling. As you know, Veritas exists so that we can help you get to the next stage, whatever God has called you to do. If Western Civ happens to be a stepping stone in that, we can't wait for you to join us. Annalisa, thank you so much for popping in today and sharing your heart about Western Civ. And we are excited to see how that turns out. And if you have any questions about our college, about our classes, please feel free to reach out. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.